Hey guys, and welcome back to Franchise Nation. I'm your host, Moonlightswami, and today I am bringing you guys a league recap for the Saints franchise. Let's paint that playoff picture, shall we? As the Saints are the best team in the league right now, sitting at 10-1. The lone loss coming to the Oakland Raiders way back in week number 6. The Browns sit at 9-2, and they're the second best team in the NFL, pretty much by a wide margin. I'll show you guys some statistics real quick. Points for, Browns are third, we're first. Points against, we're first. They are like 6th, somewhere in there. So, I mean, it's pretty good. They're a very good team. They're coming off of a win, but they had just lost their second game of the season. We're 5-1 at home, 5-0 on the road, and we are undefeated inside the division. So let's take a look around the league right now, see where things are settling for teams in the division, outside the division, etc. So starting things off, we have the NFC West. The Seahawks, let's set it. The Cardinals are in first place at 7-4. Seahawks 6-5, Rams 6-5, 49ers 1-10. Yikes. NFC East, Cowboys sit at 7-4, Redskins and Eagles at 6-5, with the Giants at 5-6. In the South, the Saints sit at 10-1. Those pesky Buccaneers sit at 7-4, Panthers at 5-6, and the Falcons at 5-6, which means that we are very close to clinching the division and a playoff spot as a whole. And NFC North, Packers and Bears at 5-6, leading the way. Vikings and Lions round things out. In the AFC West, the Chargers are 7-3-1. Beat out those Raiders. Keep them away. Keep them out of the playoffs. I don't want to have to face them. 6-4-1. Chiefs 5-6. Broncos 4-5-2. In the AFC East, another weak division. 5-6 Patriots lead the way. 4-7 Dolphins. 3-7 Jets. 3-7-1 Bills. Both of them at the bottom. AFC South, the Jaguars and the Titans tied atop at 7-4. Colts 5-5-1, Texans 5-6. And to the AFC North, the Browns at 9-2, Steelers at 7-4, Bengals at 4-7, Ravens at 3-7-1. So it's up to the Titans, the Jaguars, and the Steelers to keep the Raiders out of the playoffs, and I hope they can do that because that would be really, really nice. Taking a look at our team stats before we look at the award races and all of that jazz. Michael Wong, 62%, 3,000 yards, 21 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, 8.6 yards per attempt. He's been sacked 28 times, but Wong has looked excellent as of late. After that, Rakeem Blackman, 190 attempts, 1,274 yards. He's averaging 6.7 yards per attempt, but we're cutting down his touches as a whole. Darius Jackson, 43. Tavio Hoyt, 18, had that huge run. 9 touchdowns for Blackman. He has 4 fumbles, which is a little bit concerning, though. 15 broken tackles. Receiving, Hopkins, 45 for 826, leading the way. Kent Clements, 43 for 665. Edens, 42 for 450. Thomas, 39 for 464. And Blackman, 31 for 427. All these guys are getting involved. And I think that's pretty good distribution among players. You know, we're not force-feeding anyone, but Hopkins has been really dynamic as a deep threat for us, beating coverages and taking it the distance. On to blocking. Well, Teron Armstead, Roman Kalu, and Raphael Ragland all have had their struggles. Krenzel's been dominant up the middle, and Traylon Kraft has been pretty good. So maybe it's just that right guard spot, that right side's a little tough. Kalu has definitely had his struggles, but Wong also likes to roll into pressure on that right side. As for Armstead, there's really no excuse. He's just having a down season. On defense, Shad Houston, 104 tackles. He's been phenomenal. 13 tackles for a loss. Schillen's right next to him. Marshall Larimore, 73. Fassitt, 63. Tackles for a loss, it's Houston, Schillens, Grice, Rankins, Tracy, Waynes, Pittum, Melvin, Yates, Hastings with 50 tackles. He's had a rough season in this new transition to middle linebacker. Not exactly sure what's going on with him, but it's a little concerning. In terms of sacks, Schillens with 13, Pitto with 12, Rankins with 8.5, Ace Tracy with 6.5, Melvin 4, Houston 3, Waynes 2.5, Gates 1, Tanner 1, etc. Interceptions, 4 for Larimore, 4 for Fassitt, 3 for Waynes, 1 for Melvin, 1 for Yates. Deflections, a lot for Jocqua. A lot of good pass deflections. Those aren't just dropped interceptions. Those are actual deflections. Forced fumbles, 4 for Pitta, 2 for Ace Tracy, 1 for Yates, 1 for Shillings, 1 for Grice, 1 for Moreland. Recoveries, that is Shillings, Houston, and Bradbury. Blocks, we've had 2 from Vidal Grice. Safeties, we've had 1 from Victor Melvin. And we've had our touchdowns. Larimore with 2, Waynes with 2, Shillings with 1, and Bradbury with 1. As for field goals, 35 for 36 on extra points for Lutz. The only miss was a block. 32 for 32 on field goals. Unbelievable. Punting, Javier Moran, 41 punts, 18 inside the 20, only 2 touchbacks. He's getting better and better every season. Returns, Whiting looking solid. Does have a punt return touchdown as well. As always, we like to check in on our fellow Wesley Ripkowski. 64%, 15 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. He's looking solid. You know, he's not doing the best in the world. Todd Gurley's been good. Griffin Ragland also getting some touches. 2 touchdowns for Ripkowski as well. No team fumbles. I think that's probably the most interesting part. Well, Marcus Wheaton has 2, but so no rushing fumbles from them. That's pretty solid. And Justin Hardy's his #1 wide receiver. That's still crazy. 7 touchdowns for them. Either way. We look at the MVP race, and Jameis Winston sits atop. Rakeem Blackman, #2. Max Boyle, Dak Prescott, Michael Wong, #5. Elliott, Bortles, Hartsock, Newton, and Goff. Coach of the Year. Maybe we can win our first Coach of the Year. That would be pretty cool. Norman Gayton is trying to chase us, though. In terms of AFC, we'll roll through that quick. Winston's in line for Offensive Player. Khalil Mack, Defensive. I'm sure he has 30 sacks. Isaac Pinner, Offensive Rookie. Lindsey McCree, Defensive Rookie. Winston, Best Quarterback. Okay, roll through it. Chris Conley, Muhort, Mack, Hightower, Emerson, and Aguayo. On to the NFC. Looks like Rakeem's in line for Offensive Player of the Year again. Defensive, it's Buchanan right now, but Nickel Shillings and Wes Pitter are right there with him. Offensive Rookie, Dre Hines, Wimbley. We don't have an Offensive Rookie really playing. Chance Hastings is on the list, so this is not really our category. But Defensive, Sam Holochek somehow is above Wes Pitta, and I need to know why. We'll take a look in a minute. Sewell, Larimore, Greg, Ace Tracy. We have a lot of really good players. Best quarterback, Boyle over Wong. Have to see that. Rakeem Blackman, best running back. Best wide receiver is Nuke Hopkins. Offensive line, Armstead, I disagree. It should be Krenzel, but the Cowboys are right there. And then Raglan, Kalu, and Corey Stupons. How did he get there? Ansa, best D-line. Okay, I can live with that. I think you can make a case that Rankins has been pretty good, though. Linebacker, that's Nickel Shillings. Wes Pitta's up there. Can we get some love for Shad Houston? No? Okay. Larimore and Fassitt chasing. Trey Wayne's chasing as well. Sanchez McNeil's up there. Wow. So 2 current Saints and a former Saint, and then Wayne's on that list. Not bad. Kicker, yeah, no one's close. Let's take a look at the overall league stats, though. All right, in terms of yardage, that's Brody Cochran's department. 3,300 on the nose. Touchdowns, that is Max Boyle. 30 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. So they're scoring a lot through the air in Boyle's second season. Winston, 23-4. Prescott, 22-9. Wong, 21-7. Traylor, 21-8. Replacing, of course, Cortez Meeks. Tom Brady, 19 touchdowns, 6 picks. Blake Bortles, Goff, 18-5 for the Texans. Look at him turning things around. There's Darren Lane. Colby Ditka picking things up a little bit. Who has the most interceptions? It's going to be Cochran, right? Yeah, Cochran, Ditka, Gabbert, Vernon Adams, Cam, Luck, Wilson. Yeah. Okay, rushing. Rakeem Blackman leads the NFL in rushing yards on 190 attempts. Crazy. There's Jaden Fluker with 238. So touchdowns, that's probably going to be Cochran, Isaac Pinner, who's been really good for the Jets, Melvin Gordon, then Blackman, then Elliott, then Crowell. Fumbles, probably towards the top. There's Jaleel Biakabutaka. Love it. Derrick Henry, Lester Jacoby, Kenneth Dixon, there's Blackman. Broken tackles, 32 for Fluker. Not bad. Okay, receptions, Chris Conley with 73, leading the NFL. Amari Cooper with 71. Dante Moncrief. There's John Brown, Crockett Gilmore. So the Ravens like to throw a lot. Amari Cooper leads the NFL in yards. Then Tyrone McElrath, Conley, Tevin Hills, Kadarius Niche, Michael Floyd, Julio Jones, A.J. Green, A.B., Earl Hill, Dez, and then there's Hopkins. He's averaging 18.4 yards per reception. No one's close. No one is close. In terms of touchdowns, it's Conley, Green, Coleman, Newkirk, Hills, Hill, Certain, Bryant, Hopkins, Hardy, Brown. Blocking, who's the worst? LaRaven Clark, but that was kind of expected. Taylor Decker, Darrell Williams, TJ Clemmings. So a Lion and 2 Panthers walk into a bar. George Humber, Claude Burkhead, Bullard. Wow, Marcel Bullard, I'm disappointed in you. I guess you really weren't cut out to be a starter. Taylor Lewan. Okay. There's Pamphile. And who is not on this list? There's Sean Shaughnessy, only at 8. I mean, good for him. He's starting to pick things up a little bit. Defense, Sam Holochek, 112 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and an interception. Are you kidding me? That's why he's number 1? I mean, De'Aaron Buchanan at least has 4 interceptions. I'm sure he has some forced fumbles too. No? Okay. I'm sure he has a touchdown or 2. Probably a few. None? Okay, cool. So, tackles for a loss, 17 for Mack, 15 for Wilkerson, 13 for Houston, 13 for Schillens. You know, nothing special there. Sacks, 18.5 for Mack, 15.5 for Watt, 13 for Schillens, 12 for Richardson, 11.5 for Armstead, 11 for Ansah. Cameron Jordan has 9 for the Bills. And obviously, if we split this up, you'll see Wes Pitta at 12, Vernon in the same spot, Mack leading the way, Eric Armstead, 11.5, Randy Gregory. Interceptions, 7 for Emerson, 4 for Peters, 4 for Hightower, 3 for Christian Hightower. NFC, 5 for Deion Jones, 4 for Larimore, 4 for Sanchez McNeil, 4 for Buchanan, 4 for Tyrann Mathieu, 4 for Josh Norman. Now, color me a little concerned, but why is he ahead of Larimore and Fassitt for best defensive back? Larimore has 2 pick sixes and 4 interceptions and more tackles. I mean, you'd think, and more tackles for a loss, but hey, who cares, right? Weird. And Jocqua's been fantastic as well. All right, on to kicking. No one's going to be close. Okay, so that's enough of that. In terms of injuries, because this is where things get a little bit important, Yates out for 2 weeks with that abdominal tear. Vidal Grice out for the season with a torn pec, and Nick Foles is still on IR, but he can return at any time. The Seahawks are without Wilson, Jaron Reed, and Jimmy Garoppolo for at least next week. The Steelers without Shazier, Shamarko Thomas, Dials, Gaither, Whitlock, and Jalen Watkins. Yikes. No injuries for the Texans. Titans without Jerron Flynn and Mike Martin. Vikings without Griffin and James Romero. Bears without Goldman. Okay, Goldman. Joey Westbrooks. Okay, Eric Kendricks. Tyrod Taylor's out. Deion Lewis, Lamar Miller, and Keshawn Pouncey. Who's running for the Bills? Those are 3 big injuries for them. 4 big injuries. Shane Ray, Treader, Judah McClain, abdominal tear. Did he suffer that versus us? He probably did. Rashad Peppers, Nate Dudley. Okay, Jaleel Bellamy, Lancina, and Giovanni Bernard. Those are some pretty big injuries for the Browns. Ryan Jensen and Antonio Quanjo. Okay, Veld here for the Cardinals. Not bad. Chiefs, only without Bradley Roby. We do face them this week. Adolphus Washington for the Colts. Jalen Smith, Mylan Carson, Roby. Devontae Parker and Brent Scarlett. Tyler Larson. Ooh. So Jacoby Brissett, still out. Brandon Martinez, Jerick McKinnon, Rayvon Rudolph, Keanu Neal, and Devontae Freeman. We don't face them again, but that's tough. 49ers, Carlos Hyde, LaVaris Whiting, who's already 27. For a guy who we really expected to be something special, he's kind of just been all right in the league. Hassan Ridgeway, Pugh, Hankins, Stewart, and Wiley all out. Yeldon and Ramsey. Ooh, Jalen Ramsey out for the season. That's a big blow to them. He's a really good player. Really good. Jets without Shaq Mason or Duke Johnson. Lions without their third-string quarterback. Derrick Henry's out for 3 weeks. DeMarcus Wimbley. Star Latuale, James Benedict, Coleman Cummings, and Daniil Hunter. Yikes. Logan Ryan, Fleming, Gianni Parker, and Yannick Ngukwe out for the Patriots. Aldon Smith, Derek Carr, Michael Crabtree, Brian Carmichael, and Jonathan Anderson all out for the Raiders. That means that they might not make the playoffs. As for the Rams, CJ Ball, Watts Hilliard, Dwayne Allen, Loud, and Heaney, Hunter Edison, and then Charles Sims, Antoine Casper, and Will Fuller. So who is starting for the Raiders right now? That's the question. Because if they don't have a quality starter, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And I'm sure they don't. Sean McGarrahan is their starting quarterback. 8 touchdowns, 6 picks. I mean, he's not been terrible. But that's why they've been losing. Let's just see their schedule, and then we'll take a look at the remainder for our schedule. Let's see, the Raiders. As of late, they beat the Falcons. Poor Falcons. Lost to the Bucks, the Panthers, and the Patriots. So they have a tough stretch to end the season. Chargers are in first, Titans tied for first, and the Chiefs. The Dolphins, who are bottom feeders, and the Chiefs again. They might not make playoffs, and I'd be really happy if we don't have to see them again. As for us, we take on the Chiefs, then the Bucks. That will be an opportunity, probably our opportunity to clinch the division. A win at the Buccaneers. I think we'll clinch it with about 3 games left. At the Lions versus the Bears, and at the Panthers to round things out. So that's the remainder of our schedule. 2 at home, 3 on the road. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Moonlightswami, and I'll be talking to you guys later. Peace!